Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. I finally got one. 30 plus years in this hobby, and this is the first Tamiya Ford Escort Cosworth rally car that I've actually seen in the flesh, let alone own one. So as I've rattled on about in a lot of previous videos, I've been on the lookout for one of these for a while now. If I'm completely honest, I really wanted the Michelin Pilot one. I just think the colours, the blue and yellow, I just think the livery is better. But one of these came up for sale. This has come all the way from New Zealand, so big shout out to Andy for selling me this. So Tamiya did 3 Ford Escort Cosworths. The Tiger Stripe, this edition, was the very first one. On part number 58112, and this was released in February 93 and ran right through to 97 on the T801 chassis. So it's definitely got a bit of age to it. Just while we're on that, then on 58125 in September 93, Tamiya released the Michelin Pilot version of this, which was pretty much identical, apart from wheels and tyres, which we'll talk about. But it obviously had that gorgeous Michelin Pilot livery, and that was still on the T801 chassis. And then the third edition they did, which was on 58176, was released in June 96 and through to 99. Now that came on the T802 chassis. And that was obviously the Repsol version, which is again a very stunning looking rally car. So there's 3 versions of this car, and this is the first one. Now this car needs a little bit of work. It's really awkward when you're looking for cars, as I guess the majority of you guys know. You really, before you send that cash over, you kind of really want to know what's coming to you. Something like this, which is all original. The chassis is not. I'll show you that. The chassis is very different. But the main thing for me is the shell has to be intact. There can't be any cracks on it. And in an ideal world, it needs to be mint, because these things at the moment are commanding silly money. Even though there's different companies now doing reproduction shells, and I think there's now companies doing the correct plastic wings. These were like rocking horse poo only 6 months ago, and obviously if you don't have the whale fin spoiler for the reproduction body, it's kind of pointless in my opinion. Anyway, this shell has one crack on the back, which I'll show you. That's it, and it's not all the way through to the bottom, so I will be able to strengthen it with some tape. All the wheel arches are mint. The whole shell is solid. Now, as I said, that was the main thing for me. Obviously, it's got the wheel fin, and it's got the mirrors, and it's got the driver's cockpit. So it just ticked all the boxes. And then when I saw the chassis, I was like, oh, that's different. So we're going to have a look at the car in a bit. I'll just stick a couple of pictures up of the real rally car just while I'm talking, so you can see. It's a gorgeous looking thing. I mean, I remember, I'm 46 years old, I remember when the Escort Cosy came out as a road car, and it was just like, damn, you know. Massive Cosworth fan myself. One of my all-time favourite cars is the RS500 Sierra Cosworth. That's just an insanely lovely looking car. Anyway, let's have a look at the car. In fact, before we do that, I want to show you a couple of things before we get close up. So this is sat on the stand for a reason. So when I put it down gently, so far so good, but then I'm going to press down on the suspension. It's a low rider version. This is like a drift one. So as you can see, that looks really, really naff. I actually thought from the pictures when I bought it, the shocks had been spaced out to make it sit like that, but it's, as you can see, the springs are too short, and it needs the spring adjusters on there, which is not biggie. We can do that. So what this car needs is not a lot. You might look at it and you think, oh, it looks a bit tatty, but it's actually not. What we have got, which I had to sell a lung for and a kidney, I've got an original set of the Tiger Stripe decals. That was very, very expensive for a sheet of stickers. Now, MCI do a reproduction of these, but for me, I'm going all out on this one. So I needed the originals, so this was well worth it. There's over 130 decals on there, so that's going to be fun. The majority of these decals aren't too bad, but it has got signs of wear in certain places. And the full Tiger Stripe decals are supposed to come all the way up to the top of the wheel fin and come along. So it really so the stickers kind of sweep up. Now obviously that hasn't got that. So we've got the brand new decals. Wing mirrors are there, but they're in blue. They should be white for box art. And I think it's really important that they are white because it does make this car pop. Wheel fin unpainted, which is absolutely awesome for me. So it's in two. You have the big top unit and then you have the bottom unit in plastic. The bottom unit should be in like a brilliant white to match the body shell, and then the top of the wheel fin and the stem should be in navy blue, which off the top of my head is PS4 big wig blue. So that's a very easy fix as well. Now obviously the wheels, these have just got slick wheels on. So interestingly, I'll stick a picture up now of this car's original wheels and tyres. When I was looking at this car, I just assumed that it just had normal 1/10 rally block tyres on, like the majority of them did. But not this car. This was a little bit different. As you can see, the wheels and tyres it came with. Now, I've been told, and I'm hoping I'm not getting this wrong, but the wheels are almost 1/12 scale for the original, and then you had this really kind of strange tyre that came with it. The difference is it's not like a low profile wheel, so you've got a small diameter wheel, but then you've got a large sort of tyre wall, which, you know, I didn't even know it had that. The second and third versions of this just came with the standard rally block wheels and tyres. So I have been offered an original set of wheels and tyres, and I've got to be honest, I don't really like them. They're not going to be cheap, and I just think those tyres, when I do a running video of this, those tyres are going to wear down quickly, and it's like, oh, do you really want to do that? So I've bit the bullet and I ordered a brand new set of standard wheels. Now the actual shape of them is pretty much identical to the originals, but obviously I'm guessing these are slightly bigger diameter, and obviously these take the standard rally block tyres. So I've got a set of 4 tyres on order as well. So basically, it's going to be just a case of strip all the decals off, paint the wing mirrors white, paint the spoiler blue and white, and re-decal it, fit the new wheels and tyres on, and this thing is going to look epic. If you've never seen one finished that's mint, they're sexy, if I'm honest. They're really nice. So let's have a look at what's underneath the bonnet. The bonnet? Let's have a look at what's underneath the shell. You might be quite surprised. Right, so let's whiz this shell off. And as you can see, it's a little bit different. So I love this. This is really cool. Let me just go down a little bit, fill that up. So as you can see, this has been modded with the FRP chassis and top deck. Now, the ones I've seen that you buy for the TA01 are a different shape to this. I'm 100% confident that this is an original Top Force chassis and top deck, which is mega cool. Dimensions wise, all the same, and obviously you've got the steering, which you can see is Top Force. So that's pretty cool. I'm loving that. It's got these Tamiya shocks on. I don't know the part number for these. These are pretty old, with the sort of purple anodized. Now, as I say, the problem here is, if you can see how short that spring is, and then obviously you push it. So the shocks do work, but they're way too low. It needs to be down there. So that's going to need some packing out, but obviously this is all going to get stripped. Now this is fully ball raced. Let's go down a bit lower. So it's fully ball raced, as I say. It's got some trick turnbuckles, blue anodized turnbuckles, and it's got some big old turnbuckle ends. I might see if I can swap them out for something a little bit with a bit more finesse. But as I say, we'll see. I don't know a great deal about the TAO one. It's different to anything I've really seen before. It's fully ball raced. It's everything's sort of smooth on it. So look at those diffs. Yeah, very smooth. That back one's not so smooth actually. What I do need to check out just while we're here, and it's the first time I've noticed this, is that back end, the angle it's at. Let me see if I can zoom in just to show you that. You see this bit here, and the angle of the drive shaft comes out of the cup like that. Now obviously this bracket sort of ties up with that. I'll be interested to find out if that's standard or not. It looks a little bit odd to me, so I'm going to have to do my research and just check that out. Zoom back out. Yeah, that's interesting. The arms are obviously standard. Maybe that's how it was back in the day. I have no idea, but that certainly needs checking out. So really we've just got to wait for the tyres to come, and then we can make a start on this car. As I said, shell's in absolutely great condition, which it really needed to be for me to buy it, to be honest. As you can see, the driver's cockpit has been painted really nicely. As I say, I will whiz that out at some point to have a good look at it, but looks pretty cool. Obviously with cockpits you want to make them pop as much as you can, so I may paint those white helmets, kind of tidy them up a little bit, but it doesn't look bad. So overall I'm really happy with this. Does need some TLC, but none of the jobs are big ones, which is really cool. I might see if I can get hold of see if anyone's got an old TAO1 original chassis. I think I'd really like to run the old chassis as it was, but I'd have to find it cheap enough, otherwise we'll just go with this. Now obviously everything I do is with a view to do a running video at the end of it, otherwise it's kind of pointless for me. It kind of completes the circle of the chase of finding and buying something, then the TLC or restoration or the build, whatever it is, right through to running them. It's pretty cool, and that's what I like doing. But with this one, I'm going to have a think about what we're going to do, because when I got hold of the TB01 German Subaru rally car, it was all about getting it on the gravel and stuff, but the gravel kills these cars. It's not just a clean up, you know, it puts scratches on them and stuff. So what I'm just sort of thinking off the top of my head right now is, before I do the full sort of shell restore, I'm wondering if I just do some very basics. Now obviously sort the chassis out, get the correct wheels and tyres on, that's going to make a hell of a difference. Maybe whip the mirrors off, paint those white, certainly take these little decals off the back, get this bottom wing painted up white and the top blue. That, with the wheels and tyres and that paint done, the car's going to look way better anyway. It's going to look a lot more like it should. We could also put the correct, because this sticker set comes with some really awesome Ford blue decals, which go around Oz, you know, the OZ wheels. I'm just looking at them now. Now that really livens these up, so I could put those decals on and then go out and do like the rally running video, because then I'm not too bothered if we get any sort of scratches on these decals. I don't know, do you see where I'm going with this? I think that might be the better option. Get that out of the way, make those videos, and then bring it back in, clean it up, and then strip this shell completely back, and then do kind of the final shell restore, and then it's mint. I mean, then we could always drive it on tarmac, just not on the sort of dirt where we're going to sort of, or run the risk of damaging it. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. I certainly wouldn't restore this shell back to mint and then stick it on the gravel. I just think that's going to be pointless. And these things are just too expensive to do. These things are commanding 250 quid at the moment, which is pretty insane, really, considering, as I say, there's repo shells out there. Anyway, I think I've covered about everything, so I'm mega chuffed with that. I'll be posting, I don't know what rally videos I'll have posted by the time I post this video, but this is now the third rally car. As I said, a TBO1 German rally car, and I've just finished a 1997 Colin McRae Subaru replica, which is in the same boat. Because the shell looks really good, I'm debating whether to get that on gravel or just stick it on tarmac. I don't know. But then it kind of defeats the object of what this channel's about, by getting hold of these really cool cars and actually getting them to run them. And I wouldn't say I run them hard, but you know, we slip and slide on the dirt and what have you. So anyway, I don't know, I'm really babbling now. So we'll end this video here, and I hope you like it. Stay tuned for part 2. So guys, as always, thank you for watching, it's really much appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us on our weekly videos, that'd be awesome. Anyone watching, please smash that notification bell to give you warning of our weekly videos. And as always, I should say, happy RCing.